Amazing.
Yeah, exciting. Got Seggy today. Had
Yes.
Brandon Suarez yesterday tell us super duper technique on getting out of the body that Ebru's been able to use today, and she's officially gone out of her body for the first time.
My first out of body experience. I
Yeah.
can I cannot believe it.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, like I'm still literally trying like almost like okay, what did I experience? Because it was like amazing. I'm like literally like I was just like I just told my parents about this too.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just amazing. So literally I'm still in shock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
cannot believe I had this because it was like, after that podcast episode we had yesterday, after the
Mm-hmm.
recording, I was like, it's almost like after that episode yesterday, I felt so confident.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like
You were very
confident,
confident.
like knowing that I'm about to have an OBE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like, and especially all the great advice he shared yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yep.
on top of that, he's like, if I can do it, and he talks about his own schedule, the sleeping schedule, he talks about his diet and everything. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, if I can do it, you can do it. So that made
Yeah.
me more confident and like, okay, I know I'm
Big
about to
time.
have OBE.
Big
And
time.
so I'm laying down, literally in the bed. As I'm like, okay, I'm about to have it. I used to always listen to binaural beats, and I feel like this specific binaural beats I have, inspired by Robert Monroe. Like I'm always like listening to that one because I feel like that it does something inside, like activates something. Because
Yeah.
like Brandon yesterday was talking about like
Mm-hmm.
the energy you can feel, like it's almost like
Mm-hmm.
it's like shake, like not shaking. What do you call this?
The
Like
waves.
the waves.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that, and as I'm laying down, I'm like, okay, and then I'm literally feeling so intense, and I'm almost like I'm waiting for like the ears like ringing, but I don't feel it, but I feel it in my chest, like everything is just like the waves, and then all of a sudden I'm laying down, the music ends,
Mm.
like literally after like I think I was laying there for like 1 hour,
Yeah, I
but
think that
after a
music's an
certain
hour.
time, huh?
I said, yeah, I think that music is for 1 hour.
Yeah, so I laid down, and then as I'm laying down, I can like the music ends, and I'm like, fuck. Like it was not supposed to end. And I'm like, okay, he told me yesterday, Brandon, too, that you don't need music. So I'm like, you know what? Just keep focusing on your breathing and stuff. And as I'm like doing that, I'm get starting to get like kind of like impatient or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you know what? Let me just do that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the moment I do that, I lay on my right side to go to sleep. And I think I'm like literally falling asleep or something because because he said set your alarm. Like if you go to sleep at 10, set your alarm at 1 so you can kind of
Mm-hmm.
wake up because when you get back and you're tired, it's like that's when you want to catch it. So I set my alarm, I wake up at 1 a.m., but I'm too tired, so I turn off the alarm and go back to sleep. And
Mm-hmm.
see, that's the thing. I just don't remember too much of like how, like, because I woke up 2 times. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like after I laid on my side, I'm like, okay, I fell asleep, and then all of a sudden I start waking up. Like I just woke up, I think around maybe 3 a.m. or something, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I have like stomach pain or something. So I went to the bathroom, and I'm like feeling kind of dizzy. I'm like, what's going on? But after like 10 minutes, it kind of disappeared. So I'm like, let me go back to bed again. And as I'm
Mm-hmm.
laying down, thinking like I'm just gonna go back to sleep, or I'm kind of like awake, but I'm like I can go back to sleep. So I'm like laying down there, and literally as I'm like turned to the right, I'm like in like I think within the first 20 seconds or something, I can literally feel
That
like
wave state.
yeah, but I don't even know if I felt the wave state. It was almost like I'm being pulled out of the body. Like, I
Oh,
can
wow.
feel like the pull.
Mm-hmm.
As
Mm-hmm.
I'm being pulled out of the body, it's almost like, I think how Brandon kind of explained it, like almost like if you're a character in a game
Mm-hmm.
that you take that and you move that to like another city or a building or something. I feel
Yeah.
like it's like it's I didn't have that where I'm like kind of waking up and I'm looking at myself. It was like I was instant like zzz, out of my
Mm-hmm.
body, and I was like literally in front of the white wall.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
as I'm like literally staring to the wall, I'm like I'm a fully aware too.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, is this an OBE? Is this an OBE? And I'm literally asking myself too. And I'm like, let me look. I'm not talking to myself. Like, let me look at the bed. And I'm looking at the bed and I'm like, okay, I don't see myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I don't see myself, but I also know that Brandon did not see himself type of thing, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Exactly.
And I'm literally saying to myself, okay, let me just go through the wall and see if that works.
Mm-hmm.
The moment I put my hand and stick my hand through the wall, I instantly go through the wall. Like it was like
Come on.
easy, effortless. I'm just like pulling my
Wow.
hands inside the wall. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm there. So I'm
Wow.
like, let me just go into like through the wall. As I'm like doing it, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like so easy going through the wall. And I'm like, am I not supposed to see the next room? Like, and I don't see anything. It's just like black.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next thing I know, I'm in like the bathroom and I'm like, let me look at myself. If I see myself, I can really feel like I'm walking to the bed. Like I'm like looking at the mirror
Crazy.
and there's
Amazing.
nothing there. I don't even see myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't even see myself. I'm like, okay, I don't see myself. I'm like literally talking to myself throughout this whole time. Like I'm aware.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I don't see myself. And I'm like, okay. And literally all of a sudden I'm like going back to the room and there's like a bunch of people sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm literally going there sitting down on the floor and I'm like literally just saying, let me just say something to see if they notice me. Like if they like
Yeah.
just
And you said these people that were sitting though were from work, and then you
yeah,
said
so like
earlier you just
yeah,
received.
so literally that's a very good detail right there. So like before I went to sleep, I literally had a notification come down from the 9 to 5, like I used to work at. So as I'm like getting that notification from like the 9 to 5, like my thought already just went there, like it was before going to sleep. And literally, I'm seeing some of those people in the room, like during the OBE, like out of bodies. I'm literally seeing those people sitting around and like the on the floor, like almost like wrapping a gift or something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're sitting and talking, and I'm like literally sitting right next to them. I'm like just saying something, hello, hey, like say, let me just test it and see if they see me, and nobody's kind of reacting to it.
Powerful.
And then I'm like, okay, they cannot hear me or something. And literally, I don't know, I cannot remember when I'm if I'm going to bed and going to my body or what happened, but I'm just waking up. So that
Powerful.
was crazy. And like I'm literally fully aware. This is the first time I've ever been so aware, like
Yeah.
while like,
Mm-hmm.
in a dream or something. So I was like looking up ChatGPT, I was like, is this an OBE? Is this a lucid dream? Because are they very close to each other? Like, what's the difference, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very powerful. And congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so sad. Like I'm gonna do that again tomorrow. Like today.
Yeah. Yeah, you got me wanting to do it too. Like I said, I believe Brandon's Suarez's method and way is just gonna wake up so many people through and out of their bodies. This is what we said, and look how quickly it happened within 24 hours.
Like and you know what? That inner knowingness, and I feel like that's not just with OB, with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Something
Yeah.
about that inner knowingness, like you
Mm-hmm.
don't like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that, I have to rush
Mm-hmm.
out, like you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like that inner confidence and knowingness. I know it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt, and I'm like not felt that way before because
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, let me try this, and I had fear before, and then it's like I don't have fear anymore, and I either fell asleep when I was trying to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
this time I was like, I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. And then you see, we just told Brandon he's excited, and then he said, Sham, of Awaken to Joy,
Yeah.
she just went out of her body, using the same method as well. So so excited to get this method to everybody.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not sure how soon we'll get it out, but we want to get this out ASAP. We may rearrange
Yeah.
some content around, to have this put out, more
Yeah.
sooner than later. Because for us, the most important thing for me is that you all know the truth according to you, not
Mm-hmm.
according to myself, not according to Abru, not according to the one podcast, not according to anyone else but you. And I feel the OBE is the way to really get the most verifiable truth, going out of your body, accessing that realm, confirming what is, what isn't, and you just deciphering things for yourself as opposed to having people tell you this is what it is,
Oh
or
my
this is
God.
what that
Yeah.
is, or this is the way you should. You go into your own world, go into your own realm, and you determine for you what is real and what is not.
Yeah.
You are the ultimate truth, you're the ultimate authority. You are the ultimate God of your reality. So I could not be more excited to know that, ourselves, the One Podcast, is responsible for facilitating this type of information, as well as our Patreon members, as well as our Patreon OnlyFans subscribers, as well as our
Yeah.
YouTube support family that is choosing to subscribe and give us this watch time, which has been incredible just watching our growth,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm really excited to meet with Seggy as well because this is somebody who's been very inspiring when it comes to growth and pushing a channel forward in terms of the awakening movement, So
Yeah.
congratulations again, to your OBE experience.
Yeah.
Totally jatala, as we know that you've never even had, like you said, a lucid dream. So the fact that
No.
you've actually went right into the OBE, I can understand why you're like, what's the difference between an OBE and a lucid dream? And just because of the physicality, and to me, just because you were so grounded into the reality, that's why for me it's easy to see it as an OBE, as opposed to like it was like, oh, and then the wall turned into this, and then that turned into a car, and then
Yeah.
I was in a whole nother world. It's like, no, I'm walking around the house, I'm in the bedroom, then I'm in the looking at the mirror. You see what I'm saying? It's very
Yeah.
grounded into that
Yeah.
real reality. It's not like just changing and doing different things. So again, once again, congratulations. I think that's
Thank
really
you.
Johnson. Yeah. So I know we got to prepare for Seggy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're getting ready to bring him in the interview room. Seggy, you ready, bro? Hey, y'all. Can I talk to you really quick? I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you've done, this last 30 days, subscribing, closing in on 100 subscribers. Couldn't be more excited. Um, Crazy little things that just happened, In fact, Ebru's mom just had surgery today. We just went to the hospital yesterday. Not going into personal stories, but life sometimes can be lifing, as they say. But just want to thank you guys for supporting us and being here because this is just like crazy that we got this many subscribers right now. We just started, so it's 30 days in, and we're here now. And we're just like, whoa, over 1,000 hours of watch time. So people are loving the content, and we love you as well. So those that have been subscribing, we want to say thank you. And then if you haven't, we want to remind you to subscribe if it's something that you feel that resonates with you. If you love going in those places that haven't been gone in before, and you just love interesting conversations, these are the things that we find interesting. So if you vibrate with that, please join our family. For those that are already in the family, you've heard us announce the Patreon and the OF tiers coming. We also have some exciting things to come as well as we co-create this experience for the world and impact the world. So we are super duper excited, super duper happy, and I appreciate your time. We love you. We are one. What are you waiting for? Go inside. Going into that place, that space of meditation, breathing in, holding it, releasing it, blessing everyone in the space, those watching, those receiving, those co-creating, adding more abundance, more energy to all those involved in this co-creative transmission, releasing ourselves into our highest fullness, having fun, living at the highest level,
Mm-hmm.
that we are living in our highest reality that serves our highest and greatest good every day from here forward.
Every
So it
day.
is.
So it is. Isn't it amazing how we used to pray together in the morning before going to sleep, and we used to always say, Amen.
I know, of course. Yeah. And you used to say, I mean.
And I'm like doing all this.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on, I'll be right back. There we go. Big Seggy in the building, boy. Let's go. Let's do this, man.
What's happening?
How we doing, family?
What's going on?
Hey, you're changing the world, man. That's what's going on.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, you're definitely doing that, man. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great,
Okay,
man. I've been
great.
so excited for this, man. You know, you're one of the people that inspired me to come in and even start this podcast. Everybody's told me I should start a podcast. I'm like, I don't want to start a podcast. It never even came to me. And I saw like episodes you had, I think like the Alchemist, Jonadine, and different people. And I was like, I've been focused on going out of body. So I'm like, man, I want to talk to these guys. So that's kind of what got me into doing a podcast. And then just seeing how you go so detailed and then just how you've grown your podcast. It's like, I think this is something that's actually attainable, realistic if I did step into it, And it's nothing that we've told each guest that we're not looking to do it like potentially full time because we're focused on our brand, one brand. But it's just been a lot of fun and just seeing your incredible growth. Because I told Abru, this is my partner and my fiance as well. I told
Nice to
her,
meet you.
yeah,
Nice.
I told her, man, I'm like, I remember following this dude at like 2,500 subscribers. So I don't know how fast your channel has been growing, man, but you got to be the fastest growing channel in this space. And then at the same time, I thank you for taking us in because I feel like when I reached out to you, we might have had like 22 followers. You know?
Yeah. Oh man, it doesn't matter to me. So first off, I appreciate you guys, man. That's awesome. I love to hear that, man. I think when I first started this, we all have different motives, but for me, it's like I want to impact people, man. So
Yeah.
that's super cool to hear. I love that.
hmm
Love
hmm
that. What is your
Are
name,
you
by the
doing
way?
this full time?
My
Are you
name?
doing this full time? I'm sorry. Sorry, to cut you off. Are you
No,
doing
you're
this
good.
full time?
No, no, no. I have three jobs I do. Trying to cut it down to two. I mean, my goal is to do this full time. That was the goal when I started. Man, I took a really, really big leap in March. I really did not like my job. It was it was very difficult for me. It was about an hour and 20 minutes drive. And I enjoyed
Wow.
podcasts while I did that, but it was just, I was in this environment where I didn't really click with the CEO and it was just me and him. And I don't know, I was getting the life sucked out of me and I was like, I have to switch this up, but I don't make a lot of money, guys. Like I got a family, I'm trying to figure things out. So anytime I make a decision, it's like, God, it's just a lot more than just me. Like if it was just up to me straight up, I would have left a while ago and lived in my car and just figured it out.
Yeah.
Um, but I can't do that. So had to really okay, I really had to like sit down and man, I was visualizing for about 6 months prior to that, just like I want something to happen and trying to get better at visualization. And I was reading books on it, and I was just obviously I've seen every video on YouTube
hmm
about that, and
Yeah.
it's like piece of me is like, is it real? Like I could kind of see how like belief is super important to this. And anyways, I ended up meeting someone and I got an opportunity. And I was kind of on that line where it's like I could probably make this jump. I would make a little less money, but you know what? It would open me up to do something that I wanted to do. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was necessarily the podcast, but I knew like I was like, I got to do something. And it just kind of hit me one night. I was like, man, I love NDEs. So like, what if I could
hmm
just like get a hold of someone and just, have my own conversation? Cause I'd watch those and I'd have questions. And I
Yeah.
was like, man, maybe I'll just ask my own question. So that's how it started. Um, I had tried like maybe two, three other YouTube channels prior to this.
hmm
One was like on branding. I love branding. I went to school for like fashion and merchandising. That's where I met my wife.
Oh, great.
I love clothing as well. I had a brand that was in 50 plus stores, and
Oh,
eventually I'm going to bring
awesome.
that back to my world as well. Um, that's why you see like my colors and all that start to change like on my channel. Like I'd always planned to do that. I didn't
hmm
expect it to happen this quickly.
Yeah.
But in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I'll start a podcast and I would love to also create a clothing brand. Probably more just hats, to be honest. I like hats, so
Yeah.
wear them
Yeah.
every day.
I
So I'll
see.
do that. And I don't know, guys, it shocked me too, like the way this all happened. But that was a long-winded answer saying, no, I don't do this full time. I would love to do this full time. I'm hopefully getting closer to that, but that's the goal. But so what is your name though? Besides
My name is Reginald Trent,
Reginald Trent.
and I
Okay.
haven't decided what I'm gonna go by, so that's why you don't see anything up
Go
there,
about Reggie, dude. Reggie
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah, exactly. And so, like Abru calls me Reginald. People around here call me Reggie. My parents call me Trent. So it's
Okay.
like all these different because I've lived in so many different places. In fact, we're getting ready to move. Ebru's in Europe. I'm right now in Mexico, and we're getting ready to move to Los Angeles to be near our manufacturer.
Nice.
So here in Mexico, they call me Reginaldo,
Okay.
or Regi.
Reginaldo, I like that.
Yeah, but
I like it.
I like Reggie too. Like so, Reggie and
Okay.
Seggy goes
Yeah, I'll call
great.
you Reggie, brother. I'm good
Yeah,
with
okay,
that.
fam. Yeah, so I wanted to know too, bro. Where are you out of? Because I saw you one time wearing an Encinitas hat.
I'm in yeah, I'm in Laguna Niguel. So I'm in Cali. I'm close to LA.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm close,
you're
man. Been
yeah,
out here my whole life.
okay, great. Yeah, because we kept calling you the Cali guy, because we didn't know your name, you just the paradigm experience. We're like the Cali guy, but we're like, this dude might not even be from Cali,
No, I'm
So
I'm here, man. Born and raised.
yeah, yeah, awesome, man. So that's great to know your story, man, and I appreciate the long-winded answer because that's what we're here for is to really go into depth and like I said, I really appreciate you. Really wanted to honor you just within your story and really what you're doing. And I know you're saying, stop it, but for me, you're really changing the world with what's happening out here. And you really got that. To me, you got that Joe Rogan and Jeff Mara feel.
Mhm.
And I when I see your content, it looks like you're talking a lot about astral projection, NDE. Is that kind of the space that you stay in? Um, because for me, it would also interest me, bro, you talking to just some other people. So I don't know if you plan on expanding into that world as well, as much as you're talking about the fashion branding, because you just ask incredible questions. I mean, even when you're putting the gun to Chat GPT's head.
Yeah, I mean, so first off, I appreciate that comment because Joe Rogan to me is he's the GOAT. And I used to listen to him, man, and I loved him because I was like, he's so curious and he's smart though, but he's also into psychedelics. And at that time I
Yeah.
was like taking a lot of psychedelics and I was like, there was a stigma around that. And he smoked weed, and I was like, man, but this guy's
Hmm.
so smart. And I liked him. And
Yeah.
so the name even is a little bit of a paying paying homage to him for sure. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the paradigm experience is the Joe Rogan
Joe.
experience. Like, there's a
Yeah.
reason I went with
Hmm.
that. It's also about, the paradigm shifting moments that we all have uh, that change you. But yeah, so I appreciate that. Um, I am open to go in any direction. So
Okay.
I have plenty. Like, I mean, I have a lot that I've done on like I had 15 interviews this month, so I have a lot I'm recording.
Whoa.
Um, Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I'm down to go in any which direction. I love out of body experiences just because to me, well, obviously it was the thing that happened to me. It was my paradigm shifting experience. I mean, it was
Yeah.
so insane, guys. Like when it happened, I was like, "What?" I mean, I just remember uh, tough to explain. I don't know if you guys have had your own personal experiences, but it was
Hmm. Hmm.
really um earth shattering. I mean, it totally rewired how it's
Yeah.
like I thought it was real, right? But again, like all of us, we sit there and we go, is it? Is it?
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then it happens. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. This is
Yeah.
insane. And so I have a sweet spot for that. Plus, um, it was so quick the first two that I had that I was like, man, I want to get like these guys that can go out. And I just feel like it's the end goal, meaning like there's a lot of different people in this space. There's channelers, there's people who are mediums, there's just a lot, energy healers. I just feel like when you're
Hmm.
out of body, there's like something to that where I can ask my own questions. There's just no
Exactly.
interpretation. It's just like me.
There you
And
go.
again, I just want to unleash my curiosity. You guys mentioned my question asking. I swear to you, like I'm not doing anything special. It just pops in my head. So for whatever reason, my curiosity is just on fire all the time.
Yeah.
So I would like to take that into the other side and see what happens.
That's powerful, bro, because we were just saying earlier, to our Patreon community that it's the same thing for us that we feel like there's because Ebru actually, not to size up, she just had her first OBE experience like
I was
just last
literally
Whoa.
planning
just
that
last night.
yesterday, so I'm
Yeah,
like still
What?
hype on
yeah,
that,
yeah. We just had a guest interview that we did yesterday, and he was like basically saying this is a sure proof way. And they said that they went out of body by following our content. So they just went out of the body for the first time. Well, it's 6 days now, but yesterday it was 5 days for them. And since that 5 days, they've gone out of body 3 times. So they're like,
Whoa.
all I'm doing is these things. So Abru, they're like, you guys will definitely go out. So Abru went and did it, and she went out of body for the first time. But just like
Whoa.
just like you were
I'll
saying,
try not to hijack your podcast right now because now I just want to go into like, all right, tell me about it.
yeah, yeah, we can.
yeah,
But that
definitely.
that was that was the thing that we were just saying earlier. We were saying one of the greatest things we feel like we can do is awaken people through the out of body experience because, like you said, there's no interpretation. There's no you. taking somebody else's truth and trying to apply it to your life. It's you've got the knowledge, you're running this situation, you're running this show as yourself being God in your own reality, and you're able to take that truth and apply it to yourself based on your own experience. So I couldn't agree with you more, honestly.
Yeah, I love that. How do you guys define awakening?
Bro, I thought I was awake until last year. Meditating, aware that there's a spiritual realm, aware that there's something more. And then there would be people that would be like, I would be agreeing with them up until they started talking about reptilians. And it's like, all right, bro, you're one of these crazy people. And then last year I went through a super duper awakening through the Joe McMoneagle, Sean Ryan 6 hour thing. I spent like 2 3 days watching that whole thing, and then that led me down. I took Lori Williams' remote viewing course. She came from the CIA. I took her thing, and then just started bouncing around to finding mediums because I was raised Christian, so it was like I had already kind
Yeah.
of stepped away from it, but it was like stepping into mediums, channelers. You're going in like the wrong direction according to Christianity. So it was all brand new to me. So now I consider myself much more awakened, but before Ebru would see me go meditate, I was very kind of in tune spiritually, but to me, where I'm at now, man, it's like I'm still questioning being awake because it's like how they say when you begin to know more, you begin to realize you don't know anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like this whole thing, and I've been watching you go back and forth with guests too, saying, is this a prison planet or is this a school? So I really feel like I'm just finding stuff out now, and so when it comes to that term of awakening, that's a very deep question, and we're normally the ones asking deep questions here, Seggy.
Sorry. Sorry.
So,
Sorry.
so that's a very deep question. I don't know how I would really phrase that because is it knowing that, that we're more than our bodies? Is it knowing that there's another side? Is it knowing that there's extraterrestrials here, that we're multidimensional? But I definitely consider myself awake. And if somebody said, "Are you awake?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm awake." But to try to sum it up, that's a very good question. Ebru, did you have a way that
Yeah,
you
I
would?
mean, I feel like it was like for me, um, I didn't even like there was like it's Reginald sending me all these videos that he's been seeing, and I feel like what really shifted in me was like after this the plant teachers that we did. So the ayahuasca and like bufo, mushrooms and stuff, and I feel like that's where really things just like changed crazy for me. And I'm like everything just like I was like, okay, what is going on? Like that was just crazy to me. And then just all of this together, and I'm still learning so much stuff. And I'm like, wow, like every time there's something, it's like almost like I'm like something like new, just like, my mind just expands every time. Like, and watching your videos, it's like, wow, like I didn't know this, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I feel like, I mean, this is just really what just changed everything for me. That's like literally doing that plant teacher, like the ceremonies we had. And
That's
you
awesome.
mentioned it too, right? Like have you ever done the have you done the plant medicines?
Yeah, so I've done a lot of mushrooms. The DMT is probably the gnarliest thing I've done. I've never done ayahuasca, but I think they're
Okay.
very similar
Mm-hmm.
from what I hear.
Yeah.
I had done DMT twice. I had one really incredible experience and then one equally terrifying experience, and
Oh,
so
wow.
they canceled each other out for me. Yeah.
When you say
So
DMT, are you doing the bufo frog, like the smoke DMT?
yeah, yeah, I smoked it. So it was like a yellow powder. I don't. Yeah, it was a buddy of mine. He's now like a really world famous like tattoo artist. He's like does
Okay.
sacred geometry stuff. But we were working at Buffalo Wild Wings, man, and he was the guy. I forget what you call him. He was like helping making sure the food is coming out. It's a hectic job, dude. It's like crazy.
Hmm.
And like servers were running in. He was just a really cool dude. And so obviously when you're in that environment, you're up late. And so we'd get off sometimes. And he had some cool tattoos and I liked him. I started asking him about sacred geometry and we just went down rabbit holes. And yeah, so I tried it twice with him. Insane.
Wow.
Insane.
Wow. Yeah.
DMT's trippy, man. I mean, it's weird how like some people see the same things. A lot of people see the same things. I find that interesting.
Hmm.
Like I definitely saw that they talk about like little gnome creatures or like little like
Oh my
jesters
God, that's
almost.
literally what I saw too.
Yeah,
Literally.
they're kind of like they have like almost like very narrow like I don't know. It's very but instantly when I've heard other people talk about it, I was like, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. I've seen these like little beings, whatever you want to call them. That's consistent. I've heard people say that if you see like a laser or something, like just a normal, like I don't know, those little red lasers.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Mm-hmm.
take DMT and you're looking at a laser next to a wall, almost everybody consistently says they see code, which is interesting.
Yeah.
It's another thing I've heard. So I don't know, man. I try not to take anything anymore because I have issues with that. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I have to stay away from drugs these days.
Okay.
Um, and so the experiences I've had are so powerful anyways that it's like, yeah, I just kind of I'm just at a place in my life where I just don't want to do that really. I just don't
Yeah.
feel called to even
You
do it
don't need
anymore.
to. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how would you answer the question you asked us as terms of in terms of awakening? You know,
Oh,
what
dude, I don't know. I just
yeah.
like I ask questions and um I, I don't know. I do think that I feel like it's more of a journey than than as simple as like awakens sounds like you just open your eyes right and you're there. I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
like probably not the appropriate term. I guess it works, but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's such a journey that it's more of like a doorway that opens up and then it's like you gotta you still gotta walk through it and then there's a lot more beyond that doorway because it can be really hard. Like that's one thing that I feel like for a lot of people, these are big concepts that we're talking about here. These are belief systems that can be shattered. And I just say this all the time, like, but I think the real God is your belief systems. I mean,
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do. I think what you
Mm-hmm.
believe is everything. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
when those get flipped upside down, I mean, it could change the people you're with. You could be married to someone, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I don't believe what they believe in. That can cause friction. It can cause you to lose your job. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it really can shake you up. So it's not this like it's very hard. I mean, that's what I'm trying to like
Yeah.
at least for me, man, you have to look at stuff in yourself that you're trying to avoid. And so that's
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of this like this doorway that you walk through that's kind of intense. That's
Mm-hmm.
the way I would
Yeah.
describe it. There's
Yeah.
good moments for sure, but it's kind of hard.
Yeah. And then going to your question that you asked on your podcast, how do you feel with Earth being a prison planet or a school? Where do you kind of fall into that belief?
So I actually, yeah, on my pod, I talk a little bit about what I believe, but I don't really share too much.
Mm-hmm.
Partly because it's constantly changing and I don't feel like super strong
Yeah.
in it. What I do feel is this. I feel for sure, I believe we are more than our bodies. We are infinite souls. I believe that for sure. That seems to be a commonality. And I think love is also right there. So for me, it's those two things. Love defeats fear. I think love is ultimately what it's all about. And so
Yeah.
those are kind of what I'm certain on. Um, why we're here, how we get here, all of that stuff I think is very interesting. And there are some wacky, I don't even want to use that word because it's like, man, I've talked to some people and even some episodes that I'll release that I'm like, these are crazy. These people are definitely on a sick one. But at the same time, like I look at them and I'm like, man, he believes what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he
Mm-hmm.
definitely
Yeah.
he's not coming across as crazy to me. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and I've read so many books, guys. Like I've read probably 35 books this year at least.
Wow.
Different arenas, different theories, ideas. This idea of a soul cluster is for sure. I've seen it in like multiple books now, and I've talked to multiple mediums and multiple. I mean, the amount of emails I get now daily of people like telling me that they have the answer and they want to send it to me. I'm like, wow, man, this is
Wow.
getting crazy. But um, the soul cluster is interesting, and I've heard it described a couple different ways, and it's like it's the idea that you are a bunch of different yous. Like the soul is like the high. When people talk about your higher self, it's apparently your soul that is the highest version of you. But within that, there are all these little versions of you, right? Like it kind of
Mm-hmm.
like sending it out as probes, and there's like 1,000 different versions of you, whether it be on Earth or other places. But it sends you out. And until everyone comes back to the soul, that's when it moves on to its next thing. The reason I bring that up is because I've read a couple books now and I've heard a couple interviews where people talk about seeing this vision of this, like, they call it like this octopus looking thing, or it has 10, and it's because it's like this tiny little, like you're always connected to it in a way. And so when you
Mm-hmm.
see it, um, People say that they always like instantly know, like, oh, that's me. Like I know this looks crazy and it's weird, but that is me. And you just
Wow.
kind of have this knowing. That's interesting to me. There's a little bit of me that feels like, yeah, that makes sense that there's this like this cluster of me's. And in a
Hmm.
way you hear it in a lot of different
Yeah, you
podcasts,
hear it a
just said
lot.
differently.
Yeah.
Um, so whether that's true, the prison thing, I struggled with it a lot and I still do, but I've heard some people describe it in a way where I'm like, you know what? I bet the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
It's if you want to use the word prison, like I guess, but like
Hmm.
there does seem to be this. Okay, so I'm gonna. This is very complicated for me, so I'm
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to say it where I don't ramble. But when I first started asking questions, it was like there's like these two worlds. It was like UFO alien people, right? Like you have people talk about aliens and grays
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
Arcturians and all this stuff.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
how do they fit in with like the
Hmm.
spiritual people? Like I don't understand. I don't understand where the link is. Like they kind of seem separate,
Hmm.
right? Um, and then certain spiritual people channel beings. And I'm like, okay, they're channeling these other entities. So there's like all this interesting stuff going on. And then you start hearing about like the Galactic Federation. I don't know if you've heard about that, but
Oh yeah.
you talk to enough people, you start talking about that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but it does feel like I think a little bit of the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Like, I think you could probably okay, I think you could probably get out anytime you want. I think some of
Hmm.
us come here to help people. I think
Yeah.
some of us are here for a totally different reason, right? Maybe
Hmm.
you are here to experience what it's like being a human and be a shithead,
Hmm.
or I don't
Exactly.
know. Like I believe some people or beings would want to try that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like I guess jury's still out for me on like what I fully think it is. And then when you start talking about reptilians and stuff, like I'm just like you guys. Like I think it sounds wild. I'm like this sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
However, if 1,000 people told you, right, like if you walked, you've never been to this side of the cliff, and 1,000 people from different arenas, different, don't even know each other, they all come and said, hey, beyond that cliff is an island with red trees. And it's like, okay, well, I've never been there, but there's so many people keep saying that
Hmm.
maybe there's an island with red trees over there. Like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who say that they've seen these things from different arenas, from different books. They're talked about in different ways. Um, that again, it's like maybe. I mean, I thought
Yeah.
leaving your body was insane. I was raised a Christian too.
Hmm. Hmm.
Where I kind of can get past it is like when I really sit down and I'm like by myself and I'm just like thinking about what we are doing here. It's trippy, guys. Like, I mean, when you really
Yeah.
sit back and go, why can't I talk to you guys right now? Like, why? It's very weird. All our jobs are made up. All our jobs that we do right now are not even here 100 years ago. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is a weird place. Um, all I know is when you love someone, when you have every right not to love them, in fact, they would be okay with you like being upset at them and you show them grace or like I don't know if you guys have ever been shown grace before, but like
Hmm.
for real, like where you wouldn't be upset if that person was hated you forever. Like I've had that happen to me a couple times and it gives me this feeling that like I can't explain. And there are those moments in life, like I have little kids and stuff and the love I feel with them. So yeah, I know I didn't answer your question on it because I don't really have an answer. I'm still like
Yeah.
figuring it out, man. But I think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. That's where, but I don't know. I still don't know. That's why I have the podcast. It's literally
E-
like I'm just trying to understand.
Exactly.
Um, but I just want to say the one last thing. I've heard people describe the prison planet and it's very scary and it's I don't like those people and I don't like I find a lot of them a little bit cocky and
Hmm.
condescending a little bit and I don't
Hmm.
understand why because sometimes like I see them in interviews and they laugh and they go love and light and they like make fun of people and then I'm like well you're still here so
Hmm.
you either just
Yeah.
figured it out
Yeah.
which means you shouldn't be that like
Yeah.
I don't know
Condescending.
like you shouldn't be that like I
Yeah.
don't know it's like you either just figured out or what it just doesn't make sense so if that's the case I still think love has a purpose and I'm going to choose that route until when I figure it out or I feel like I'm certain, I will talk about it for sure. Like I'll say, this is what I think. And big thing about me and a big thing about people or what I think people should do is not be married to their ideas and
Yeah.
be open to change when something changes. So,
Exactly. Yeah, very well said, man. In fact, the whole thing with the reptilians, I now believe in reptilians now. It's just, at first I was totally against it, but now my mind has been open because, like you said, so many people are talking about it, and we're talking about government level now. You
Hmm.
know, people discussing these things. So my thing with the earth and as a prison or is it a school, I've always just kind of looked at it like this, kind of basically like you said, but I definitely haven't turned off the prison thought, because I believe it's not maybe just one or the other thing. It can be multiple things, but the reason why I never discounted the prison concept because I felt like if we were in heaven, for example, just thinking like how we imagine heaven to be, I don't think anybody in heaven is going to be like, hey, I think we're in a prison. You know what I mean? Like that discussion is just not going to be like probably discussed in heaven, a place like heaven. So the fact that, like you said, people are bringing it up saying, this is a prison, it's like, is it? You can kind of look around and say, well, maybe, so I'm kind of in that same place that you're at, where it's just like we're still just figuring it out, and but not basically like you said, just being open-minded with everything.
Yeah, that's what it's about. I think it's more likely that there's multiple things that happen when you die than there is one thing. And
Yeah,
so I think,
yeah.
yeah, I'm
Hmm.
open right now, but I'll tell you guys right now, I've had some wild conversations, some episodes I haven't even released yet. And I'm like, whoa.
This is a reminder. It's 111. Fun. This is a reminder. It's 111. Fun. This is a reminder. It's one.
I had this guy on and I'm listening to him and like every piece of me was trying to like have him be able to like give me something that I could prove, like, or that he can prove it.
Yeah.
But he like, of course he couldn't because it's like these high
Hmm.
level, he says he's like literally works in the Navy or comes from uh, a division in the United States Navy. He's like, it's a real thing. I'm telling you right now. Like, and
Wow.
first off, he comes across as dead ass. Like he's like ripped and he's like very serious.
Yeah.
He's not coming across to me like someone who's
Out
messing
there.
around. Say
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
so he's very like boom, boom, boom. But he's on this life where like he was saying like there's this whole battle going on that you guys have no idea is going on, and he's like, want you to know the good side is basically winning. However, the reptilians, all that stuff's definitely real, and he
Hmm.
claims to like be on a team that literally time travels. He's like, our government knows about it, other governments know about it, and he's talking about like. He's like, those Tic Tacs and stuff that they have videos of. He's like, that's us. He's like, we have
Yeah.
a. He talks about getting picked up at his house from this thing. He says his wife knows about it. I found videos of this guy like doing speeches and stuff at things. So I'm like, okay, he does seem to be like,
Legit.
yeah, but it's like, what the hell? Like, this is so crazy. I even said it in the interview, I was like, you understand that this is like, this sounds wild, dude. And he's like, I know. And he's like, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Is he part of the super soldier space program? Is that what he's part of, or is it something
it
else?
sounds like that. No, he's like, his name is Raw Cloud. So
Okay.
it's like RACLOUD. He's got his own channel. I think he's got
Okay.
like almost 3,000 subs at this point. But um, again, I find it interesting. Like I can talk to him and I'm like, well,
Hmm.
this is wild. Like whether or not it's
Yeah.
true or not, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
one thing I really don't want to do on my channel is let other people tell me like what I should or should not have a conversation on. That really
Hmm.
bothers me.
Exactly.
Maybe to like a fault, but like when people tell me to not go down the prison planet thing, it makes me want to do it more.
Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
just keep having conversation. If it upsets you, like I understand, and I try
Yeah.
to like put a disclaimer out for people who don't want to listen to that kind of conversation. But I was told how to believe when I was a Christian, and I'm not gonna do that again.
Never again. Never.
So
Completely agree with you, man. I didn't even know. Have you heard about the super soldier programs that exist out there?
no, tell me about it.
Bro, this shit is some shit that I just came across maybe within the last 30 days.
Okay.
Out on the Jeff Mara podcast. I heard one person talking about it. I'm like, okay. So then I didn't finish watching it. So I searched it in again, and then I saw Jeff Mara had so many people on the super soldier program. These are people that are doing 20 years in back tours. So they're doing 20 years for the government in the super soldier program. And then the government, after they do their 20 years, they take them back in time.
This sounds like this guy. I mean, this has to be what he's doing because he
It's
was talking
gotta
about
be.
going back
Yeah.
in time, and he's like, it's a real government program. He
Yes.
was telling me like it's not bullshit, and
Bro, I've watched so many of the Jeff Mara podcasts, and these people, like you said, they look so dead ass. And
yeah,
my family's military law enforcement. So I worked on a military base in the Middle East. as a banker. So I've been around that culture. So I know like they're very kind of serious. You can see that look they have, and all these people that are on the Jeff Mara podcast talking about it, they have that same energy, and they're all different types. It's not like not everybody's an officer, not everybody's running this. They all worked in different people. Some people high level, lower level,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's so crazy.
it's
That's so
crazy,
fascinating.
bro. It's so crazy. And like some are like, I started there when I was 4 years old. And so when they took me back after my 20 years were up, they put me back as a 4 year old. One lady was like, I was supposed to be back in my crib. My parents, or I think she was younger than four, this lady, but she was like, I wasn't in my crib. My parents found me in the hallway. And even to this day, they wonder why they found me in the hallway. And the reason why these people are figuring this out is because random types of events are happening in their life. For example, one might have a Kundalini awakening that gives them memory recall. Another one might start practicing Reiki. Another lady got into a car accident that took her and unlocked her memories, but they're doing something where they wipe their memory before they send them back. And we just had a guest recently that we just aired on Sunday who actually is a channeler, mystery school founder and leader, David Lotherington, who actually was part of the special space program as well. I didn't find him on the Jeff Mara podcast, but he was just a part of our awakening experience last year. So I brought him on, but I was shocked to find out that he had been a part of it as well. And it's crazy, bro. Like it's literally crazy. They're talking about stuff that can make like they sit in some type of chair.
Oh, dude, it's the same guy where you almost like you become like this big fighter thing, or where you come up. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this is when they
Oh,
make them
dude.
go back young again. They make their bodies become young, and then they transfer their consciousness like into a younger body, and then they talk about even finding their existing self in that timeline, and then they get rid of that self, and then put the
Whoa.
self bro. It's just crazy shit, man. That's
Yeah,
what
the
I'm
guy I
telling
spoke with
you.
was like talking about getting in this like transformer type thing. I was like, what the hell, dude? And he's like, just crazy, dude. But here, remember, like there is real conversations going on with our government about UFOs. Like
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
not, it's very easy to look into that it's not a woo, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, at
Mm-hmm.
least
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
conversation's going on. And it does make you wonder, like, okay, if there is that technology, and according to the guy I spoke with, like multiple countries, not just us, have that, then why are we all playing around pretending like we're like then that would mean that it really is an act, like the government, there's like a play going on that all of us are just
Exactly.
supposed to be like, oh, because like what if you can do all that, why are we pretending like we're all still fighting with countries and like we have these trade
Exactly.
wars? It's like that doesn't make
Exactly.
sense then if that's
Nothing.
real. Like
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, so what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
It's
And
weird.
bro, one of the things that woke me up last year was the guest that we just had on Sunday. I put it in the description too. He channels the Anunnaki. And when he have you heard of the Anunnaki? Bro, I feel like the Anunnaki is something that all of us should be knowing about. I'm just telling you, bro. When you find out about
Okay.
them, you're gonna feel like this term. Because I just asked my dad 2 weeks ago. I was like, Dad, do you know the Anunnaki? He's like, no. He's a doctor. Highly educated. I asked my mom last year, Mom, you know the Anunnaki? She's like, the Anu what? And I'm just like, bro, these Anunnaki are the ones who they're saying created us as humans. So as we know the creation story, Abu has been raised Muslim. I've been raised Christian. You got Hinduism. You got all these different religions. To know all these different creation stories, we should be knowing the term Anunnaki because this is truly who they're saying created our reality, created the matrix, created the division, the divisiveness that we have, created the fact that we need jobs. Like jobs are like another form of slavery. If you're
Well,
not,
survival keeps you in survival.
yeah, and fear and all these different things. So, um, I saw David Lotherington channel the Anunnaki last year, and he had maybe about maybe a dozen of people, multiple people on this call, and he has a trigger warning before you see it. And just hearing these people talk, man, like there's an energy about them.
Wait, can I
And
watch this on your channel or
yeah,
on
yeah,
your
you can watch it. You can watch you'll watch you can we
send
have
it
in
to me
the
when you can? Yeah.
yeah, I'll send it. It's in our
Check it
description
out.
of our recent thing, but yeah,
Okay.
you'll be like, what the fuck is going on? And Abru just saw it. I sent it to her last year. She just saw it. When did you see it, Abru? Like a few weeks ago?
Yeah, and like that, like once I saw that video, I'm like, oh my God. Like what is this? Like I had to sit down and process things. It just changed my perspective on this 3D reality completely. Like he
Whoa.
goes in detail about every single thing about this 3D reality and like everything in detail. Like I think he has been channeling the Anunnaki for like 5 years or something. So
Wow.
it's just amazing.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'll peep it.
Okay.
Yeah, this whole place is crazy, right? I mean, come on. This is a wild world. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, man.
So
That's good.
how is
It's
your, you said you had a family, right? You have a family and kids. So how's your wife? Like is she also like going through this journey with you?
that's a good question. I would say my wife is extremely open-minded. I mean, I would say she's on her own path. She's not necessarily like super into this right this second, but she supports me and she's an amazing mother to our kids. And she helps me by giving me a little bit of time right now, right? Like she'll watch the girls when I have to go do an interview or, she supports me a lot in that way. But she's definitely curious. Like we've had a lot more conversations, probably more in the last couple months than anything, but just that's like we got along because we both don't like the small talk. Like we're not good at it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've never
Mm-hmm.
been that way. Like you'd catch me in college, like I used to have to drink and like do all this stuff just so I could like feel normal in these places because I just cannot talk about this the just
Yeah, the
the
regular.
bullshit. I just can't
Yeah.
do it. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
really cannot do it. I'd have to
Yeah.
be super high to be able to do it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love catching someone and bringing them outside and just like that's why I smoke cigarettes, man. I did it for 15 years almost, and like I liked stepping away. I didn't like all the chaos, and I
Mm-hmm.
would catch someone who and where if I can go a little bit like a layer deeper than just like oh how are your classes? What'd you do today?
Yeah.
Like I would stick with that person and just like
Mm-hmm.
I would stay with them all night. Um, my wife is similar and like we both like deeper conversations and uh we bonded over that. So she's I would say she's super open-minded, but I wouldn't say she's like diving in like I am. She hears some of the combos and she's like, that's a little
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I know. But
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
super supportive. My girls, like my game plan with my girls is like, um, I I'm very passionate about your thoughts become things.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just want them to really to take control of their lives by how they think and be I want them to embody that. Other than that, I'm going to let them go on their own path and I want them to have their own thoughts and their own beliefs and be on the journey they're supposed to have. We feel like our kids are our own, right? And we like
Yeah.
it's just not the case at the end of the day. Like you can love them and support them, but they're going to make their own choices. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, I want them to make the best choices possible. And I want them to talk to me. I don't want them to do things. God, I hope they don't do things that I did. And but I want to the one thing I will push at least is the mindset piece and being very intentional about what you think about and how you think about things because I think that'll set them up for success. And then beyond that, I feel they came here to do what they're going to do, and so
Yeah.
they have their own
Yeah.
squad and their own team, and yeah.
Yeah. That's great. How old are your kids?
So my first daughter is 3, and then I have a one
Okay.
year old.
Oh wow. Okay. So you
Yeah.
got some little ones.
Yeah, dude, I literally get off these things. I think people think I don't know what they think, but I hop off this and I go in there and I wash bottles, change diapers, and I'm every single morning I take my girls out like from like so I get up at 4 a.m. I'm in Cali obviously, and
Wow.
so I get up at 4. I work till about like 6:30, and then I take my girls every morning from 6:30 to about 8 just to give my wife a little bit of time,
Mm-hmm.
and then I work, man. I stay like I said, I chose things so that I could be at home to hopefully grow the channel. So I'm super
Right.
grateful that it is growing because I'm like okay, like there's
Yeah.
like I could see this becoming my full-time thing.
Big time.
Um, so I'm still prioritizing jobs that allow me to do that. And but it's hectic because I'm literally going from this one to that one to this
I
one to
know,
like my
bro.
girls. And sometimes I'm
Yeah.
at home. So it's like sometimes they're screaming. Little kids are hard, I'll just tell you that. And
Yeah.
it's just chaos, dude. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally every night I
Mm-hmm.
go to bed. And I'm like, what a day. And then
Yeah.
we run it back. So
Yeah.
it's wild over here.
Have you been working with sponsors with your channel, like to have sponsors pay?
No,
Because
not
it looks like
yet.
you're okay.
Yeah, not
Ha-
yet.
have you also got a video editor as well?
No.
Okay, because we're looking at video editors now. Because as you talk about hectic, bro, we're not even at like 25% of your pay. Like we basically we're dropping content with guests every 2 weeks. So we're still in our first month. We've already filled booked our calendar for the year. So with
Wow.
guests, yeah. So we're now kind of focusing on next year if we want to continue to do it. But we're having fun, so we're thinking about doing it. But that's one of the things I was interested about because as we're bringing on a video editor, that's going to just bring me up so much free time, and that's what I've been impressed with is your consistency. And then we're hiring somebody now to come on as like a community manager who's going to be able to like to respond to comments, kind of do the outreach. Because, like you said, dealing with kids, and you got multiple kids, so that's a father, and you're a husband, and you have to work, and you're pushing the number one podcast out there, so you're making the show run, you're making it look good, and you're making it look easy, honestly. So great job. Bravo Zulu, like they say in the military. You're doing great work, man.
I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, it's nice to hear because it is I'm a one man show over here. I do have another guy who helps me. He reached out at my super early and he helped me with outreach. So he's tagging on. I'm probably gonna. We're actually having a conversation at noon, so in about an hour, about
Okay.
maybe helping him like or having him jump in on a little bit of a deeper level. I am
Mm-hmm.
also looking at editors so that I can free that because that takes up most of my time. The problem is though, I enjoy the storytelling part of it. Like I enjoy
Yeah.
going through the interview and then creating like what is that story going to be and then editing
Exactly.
that first like 20 seconds. I'm still getting better at that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on that skill set and then
Mm-hmm.
creating the title with it. Like all that stuff is super important.
Yeah.
Um, I am naturally like I think a strategist in the
Mm-hmm.
background. Like I really seriously I love branding. I love
Yeah.
all that stuff. I mean, I grew up here in LA area and just like I love like streetwear and I love just like that's what I did. I mean, I had this brand called Meraki and I went full in. I mean, it was more of a cannabis brand than anything, but um
Mm-hmm.
got it into 50 plus retailers across the United States and Canada and but I never was happy with it. That's the thing that always tripped me out is like I've done a lot of stuff, guys. Like if you were to ask my friends about me, they'd be like, "Oh, Seggy's just doing another thing." Um,
Sound like
done a
us.
lot of things, but none of them. And I was always, I don't mean this in a cocky way, but I just, when I did put my mind to something, I was usually pretty good at it. Like I would do okay with it. But it never, like it bummed me out because it would be, I'd spend 2, 3 years on it thinking like, oh, if I just got into stores, that would feel good. And I would get excited about it. And I never did. It's like I'd get these big wins and I'd be like, and then that would depress me. I'd be like, what is wrong? And so this is the first time where I said, okay, I'm just going to do this. And then I didn't do any of the branding that I normally would do. Like prior to this, I would have had the blue logo. I would have had that all done and then launch it. I just said, nope, I'm just going to do like a chat GPT logo. I'm just going to relax and just have conversations. I'm going to do it all myself. I'm not going to pay anyone. Cause again, normally I would have like hired a professional. I would have found who's
Mm-hmm.
the best thumbnail
Mm-hmm.
designer and I would have like went all in and I just did it myself. And I said, okay, if I reach 10,000 subs or when I reach 10,000 subs, then I'll start taking it a little more seriously. And that'll give me the green light to um,
Move
put some
forward.
more, yeah,
Yeah.
put some more steez into it. And so
Yeah.
finally I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well now this is starting to work. So now I'm starting to bring that part of me back. And it makes me feel like everything I've done prior to this is like leading up to something like this because I am obsessed with this subject. I feel like I could do it forever. I do feel very, very grateful and very proud. Like I'm like excited, like, okay, this is like something I can do. Um, because I have a big goals. I mean, I'm not here to mess around. I
Mm-mm.
want to make this big. I
Exactly.
want to help a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like this is like my last life, and like I'm
Mm-hmm.
treating it that way. And so I'm going to go all in. Like I'm intentionally trying to be as big as I can be to help as many people as I can.
Powerful. And how long have you been growing your channel for, man? Like when did you
Started in
start?
April.
Wow. I
Wow.
like I said, man, I know that when I started following you, you had 2,500 subscribers. And I mean, you got to be proud of that. You literally like it doesn't even sound normal, man. Where you're at today from April to today. I
I
mean, you got to
know.
know that the universe is with you, man. So I'm already seeing number one podcast, man. I'm already seeing millions of subscribers with you. This is what you're doing full time. If that's what you want to be doing full time, but you don't have a job anymore, man. As our thoughts create reality, this is where we're putting our thoughts, behind you and the paradigm experience in your family, man, because I
Thanks,
believe
guys.
it's a co-creative, reality, so we're seeing these things along with you, man, and it's in your channel is very, very inspiring, so it's like why would you and why would we not want to see so many other people become aware of what it is? I mean, Joe Rogan's great, you know, and I love that he takes people down these topics, but you're a very, very focused on awakening, you know, and you're really not shying away from that type of thing. You know, it's like you're only becoming more focused, asking ChatGPT great questions, brilliant questions. So, like I said,
That blows me away. So that's the thing that I'm like, it just makes me smile. I'm like, that's funny that people, but you know, I have to say on that, and I'm learning this, like, for you guys too, like, I think most people don't care about me. I think they care about the content, right? Most people, when they watch any show, they care about what they get from it. It's
hmm
not so much,
hmm
it's helpful if the messenger, they can tolerate them, but I don't
yeah,
think it's really about, it's not about me. And I really am, I'm coming into it from that perspective. You guys should do the same, or I encourage you to do the same. You got
hmm
to remember, it's always about them, um, and what they can get from it. And I'm treating my shorts as kind of like I view it as like a store. So if I have this store and I'm putting my heart into it, it's all the stuff I want to promote, I want to sell. It's like it's everything I love and care about. Um, but if no one's coming into that store, it doesn't
hmm
matter. And so you
yeah,
got to get people into the store. And so I view the shorts as kind of like my sign on the on the door that gets
hmm
someone to walk in. So hopefully they come for the shorts and stay for the longs. You know, like
yeah,
that's really how I'm viewing it. I did not think it would blow up like it did.
yeah,
um it still shocks me, and I'm
yeah.
like,
It's blown
whoa.
up.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like people are like really into it, and in a way I really love it because it's like it really is like my curiosity. And I do, like, I swear to you, if Jesus was in front of me, I would ask him the same questions. It's just
Yeah,
I don't have Jesus in front of me, and I don't have a lot of
exactly.
friends in front of me. I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, so I end
Yeah.
up asking ChatGPT because I'm like, I'm curious. And I don't think it's conscious. Like, people ask me that all the time. I'm like, no, I don't think it's conscious. I think it's probably just reflecting my thoughts back to me.
hmm
I've now
hmm
trained it with like every interview I've ever done. I put it in there because I work on the storyline, just like how everyone uses their chat. So it's just trained on my questions and how many things I ask it, that I do think it responds in some wild way sometimes. I'm like, whoa. And
Yeah.
it's fun. And but the goal is not to like, the goal for me is I just want people to think. I just want
hmm
them to like feel the
Exactly.
curiosity that I have,
Yeah.
because that seems to be the theme of my show. I wasn't intentionally trying to do that, but it's just like people comment on it all the time. I'm a very curious person, and so I'm happy that that curiosity is being shown through the shorts, because I would love to inspire people to be a little more curious.
Yeah, and I really believe that. Thank you for sharing those tips too, as well.
Yeah,
And I,
dude. I
yeah,
share whatever you guys need. I'll share on the back end of this. No problem.
yeah. Thank you, Brian. Likewise, man. Anything you can get from us, we
Will
love
do.
brand building, and right now we got 50, I think 48 video editor applications to go through. So if you want
Dang.
any one of them, let us know.
I do. So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
talk.
yeah, definitely. And you know, one of the things that you mentioned too, like serving the community, and it's not about you. I think that's one of the things that has allowed your conversion rate to be so high, is because it's not, like you said, necessarily about you, but because you're that likable, lovable person, people are like, man, I like this guy. Because that's one of the things that did it for me. Like, you know, it was like, okay, it was a great message. You know, most people don't subscribe right away. I think by the second or third video of yours, I saw you again, and I heard you say something just like, I want to get this thing. I want to work full time, you know. And that's kind of where Ebru's been, you know, because as we've been building one brand, I've been the one working full time, because when Ebru met me, I was the one that already was working on it. So I understand the brand identity and everything. And Ebru's got a master's degree, so she's able to bring in higher income. So I could completely relate to you saying like, man, I'm trying to get out of this 9 to 5, you know, situation and do this full time. I'm like, man, I've got to support this guy, you know. So
Instant support. Yeah, we
yeah,
feel
Ah, thanks, guys.
yeah, so you just made yourself um instantly relatable, you know, and it wasn't just a channel anymore, you know, it wasn't just like a place of information. It's like I began to know this person, care about this person, and then, you know, you're going into really great questions. So I feel like that has a very, very high aspect to your conversion rate. You know, it's not necessarily people just saying, all right, what's this guy going to give me? It's like, okay, who is this guy? I like this guy, because you just got that energy on you, bro. You've got that you know, very high, likable, lovable energy. You know, I know you go by Seggy, you know, Seggy. You could also go by Seggc, sexy. You know, you got that energy.
Hell yeah, dude. I'll take it. Well, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, in a way, it makes me a little uncomfortable, truly. Like I like, if I talk to like any mediums, or if you knew me, like if you just were like, I know you guys are getting to know me online, but I truly am an introvert. Like
Yeah.
I'm not super outgoing when I'm out and
Mm-hmm.
about. Typically, I'm an observer. Stick to
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Me
Um,
too.
so yeah, it's just one of those things that like the more it grows, like how I do it is I don't look at the comments. I've just heard that enough, and I know there's probably a lot of love in there, and eventually I would like to hire someone to help me with that. But for me right now, I just don't look. I post what I'm passionate about, and if people resonate with it, amazing. And let's keep doing. Let's just keep doing that. I just
Mm-hmm.
want to keep it as authentic as I know people throw that word around, but I'm trying to be authentic. And one last thing I will say is like I worked for a guy for about 10 years. I mean, fresh out of college, where I was attracted to the brand because it was like number one, it was Long Beach. I went to Long Beach State. It was in Long Beach. It was like a cool, like local brand. I knew about them because I'd started a bracelet company in college. I
Mm-hmm.
got the entire Long Beach State team to wear it. I was doing
Wow.
pretty good for a kid in a dorm room. I did pretty good with it.
Yeah.
Um, I created a website. I had like every day I was getting purchases from like Sacramento. Like I did well with it, and I had everyone at our school, like not everyone, but I had a little
Yeah.
thing going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and so I was looking at bracelet competitors, and I found this company. It was like I was like bracelets from Long Beach, and I found this company. It was called Rostaclot, and I was like, okay, so at the time they had like 5 colors. I thought it was genius the way they like it was like a one size fits all. And so I'll save you all the time there, but I'd known about them. Applied for an internship somewhere. I did a ton of internships for a lot of apparel brands. So like big showrooms in LA that had like Billionaire Boys Club and Danner Boots, and like just I just was in that world.
Mm-hmm.
And this one guy I went to interview for, he's like, dude, I'm not for you, but this company Roster Clock could use some help. And he's like, do you want to interview? I know the owner. And I was like, let's do it. And
Wow.
so the rest was history. I got an internship there, started as, just an intern making nothing, worked my way up to brand director there eventually, over those 10 years. But I saw him. See, I just want to talk shit on it, but it's like, it's the truth. I always felt like he was a little trapped by his own brand because it was a brand about positivity and spreading positive vibrations and all that. Seek the
Mm-hmm.
positive was kind of his thing. And I saw that motto switch. It wasn't always that. And it like kind of switched as a marketing kind of not, I mean, I don't want to say it is because he's a good dude. I knew, I saw him outside. I just didn't feel like he didn't ooze
Mm-hmm.
positivity,
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I felt like he felt a little trapped. And again, I could be totally wrong for saying that. It always made me like, man, I wonder if this guy feels like, because I think he was comfortable around me because I didn't judge him at all. I didn't care. So
Mm-hmm.
he would be himself around me. But then when I would see him go in front, we'd go to trade shows and he kind of had to flip that switch. And
Mm.
I never wanted that. I was like, man, I never want to feel like trapped by like my own
Exactly.
shit. Like that sounds
Yeah.
horrible. So
Mm-mm.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
very upfront, like right from the get go, like, yep, taking a lot of drugs. I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure it out. I
Yeah.
don't claim to know everything.
Exactly.
I'm just moving with true curiosity.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's perfectly well said, man. And um, we normally have these podcasts go for an hour. We kind of wrap them up, 10 minutes ago, but this has just gone so well, man. I feel like we could talk to you for another hour. But I did want to ask you our one questions. I'm not sure if you're familiar with our format that we do where we ask like these one questions. Um, the one question that we start with is we ask, is there anything else that uh, or is there anything that you've never shared on another podcast that you would want to share with our audience? I don't know if you've spoken on any other podcasts yet. So you might have already answered everything because everything might be a first time that you've just shared all the information.
Well, I've been interviewed for one other podcast, but I don't think the episode's released or anything.
Okay.
Now, is this could this be any sub, like anything I've never shared about
It,
my
it
life or about, is it about,
it could be anything that you love to cook. I mean, you've already shared so much with us. I mean, that you ran a brand before. It could be how to help humanity awake, whatever. But you literally have answered the question because I like to dig in and do research, and I didn't really see too much information out there. That was one of the things that excited me about interviewing you because I just had natural curiosity towards you. Who is this person? Is he from, California? How did, so many questions, and we've answered them all here. So I know that you've already answered that one question, but if you can
I
think of
definitely
anything.
like I've never shared like my full story, which was like I said that the company I had was Dropkids. I mean, I've had a lot of brands. I don't think I've ever told anyone that.
Yeah,
Like I mean,
please.
when I say that I've had like my first brand out of high school is called technically it's called Lion, Lyon. It stood for Live Your Own Nirvana. I got that
Wow.
kind of going at my school, and then when I went to college, I started. It's called Shy Chief. That branded very good. Transitioned into the bracelet company, and then I did a candle company for a while. Made my own candles.
Oh,
Uh, I mean, I've done a lot of that kind of stuff. Never shared that too much. Um, ne- yeah, man, I guess I think what would surprise people is, yeah, I truly am an introvert. Like, if you saw me in person, like, I'm very quiet. I'm not gonna be the first guy to ask you a question. I might be thinking a lot in my head about
yeah.
questions I would ask you, but I wouldn't
Hmm.
probably go out of my way to do that. Uh, I'm obsessed with roses for
Hmm.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Uh, like literally, I love flowers and roses, and like my favorite singers are like Adele and Celine Dion, and I love like very emotional music. I don't
Yeah.
listen to like
Hmm. Hardcore, loud
I don't
music.
I feel like I don't listen to like what people would think based on how I look or something, you know? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into like a lot of girly shit.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's like I always knew I'd be a girl dad. Just knew
Hmm.
it. Um yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think I hope those are probably some things I would share. I mean, I'm pretty open. Like I would share pretty much anything. I don't feel like uh, trying to hide too much over here. So yeah, I think those are some things that I've never shared on other podcasts for sure.
Great, great. Yeah, thank you for going into such
Yeah,
detail
man.
on that. The next question we would ask you is, what would you like to know that your life was spent doing?
You mean like if I was at like what my at my grave, you know, kind of thing? Like
Yeah,
what
yeah, kind of reflecting back.
yeah, man, I sure hope it's that he practiced what he preached, that he helped a lot of people, and that he was I would love to be known for my curiosity. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
that is truly who I am. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm more curiosity than I am anything else. And I guess the definitely the hope though is that it just isn't I really do want to help a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
And I almost feel like trying not to say that so much because it comes across kind of as like, but I do. I really want to make sure that when I'm like, I have this on my wrist. It says, or my hands. It says, "I wish." It's what I tattooed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I listened to this interview of a guy say he interviewed like 1,000 people on their deathbed, and one of the most common things that people said to him was, "I wish I would have done this," or "I wish I would have helped
Mm.
that person," or "I wish I didn't care as much about what I looked like," or and I think I've had this kind of plays in your first question, but like I really cared about what people thought about me for sure. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
was in high
Mm-hmm.
school, I wanted to be the cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
Got wrapped up in it. Uh, I wanted tattoos to be cool. I wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like that for me was like my image was really important, and that started to like fall away around college time. Um, and now it's just totally gone, man. And I'm so happy for that because I think a lot of us go through that. Part of it is just being a kid, right? You want to fit in and you want to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sure.
but
Approval.
I hope people, I've spent so much of my time caring about that. I hope by the time I'm dead that people are like, that's not even anywhere
Uh-huh.
near my gravestone, man. That people are like, nah, he was authentic, he was curious, and he helped a lot of people. That'd be dope.
Yeah. And then when did you go through your awakening, Seggy?
Mm. I would say the heat turned up for me in 2000, end of 2021.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll give you this story. So again, this is I'm not on a lot of podcasts, so I've said it in a way, but on my show, but I try not to make it all about me. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but man, I'll never forget it. Like I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars right before my first daughter was born, and
Mm.
it was horrible. I will truly never, ever, 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 ever forget this. My wife walked up, 9 months pregnant, and she was like, "Hey, bub, what do you want? What do you want for breakfast?" We had just moved in this place I'm at now. We had gotten a big inheritance from her family. I don't want to go into too much because it's my wife's personal stuff, but someone she really cared about. And so it was like, it's a big deal. It was very special that they were able to give us that money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was just on a sick one at that time. I was taking a lot of drugs and I was like, I always felt like myself, so I justified it, you know, like I was always a good person. Like I was never like, I always cared deeply about people, but I was in my own world. I was so obsessed with like making it. I was like, I just don't want to work
Mm-hmm.
for anyone else. Like I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like trying to make my own way and I was very unhappy. And at that time, I didn't know what I believed. I didn't, you know, I definitely wasn't religious, wasn't sure. I wasn't quite an atheist, but I was just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a purpose with all this. Um, And that morning when my wife asked me that, is like I literally just lost like $80,000 or something. And I invested it into crypto way more than I should have. And like she was cool with it at first. You know, she said, hey, you know, just put 20 grand or something. And I did. And then I lied to her and I put way more because it was going
Mm-hmm.
well. And then I double, tripled it. And at one point I was like close to seriously $500,000. I mean, shit,
Wow.
why I didn't pull it out and just like move on, I don't know. Like I still can't answer
Yeah.
that to this day. It's like insane to even talk about. Um, Obviously I'm okay now, so I can talk about it, but
Yeah.
lost that money. Someone hacked into my wallet. Like you've heard those
Oh
stories,
my
Oh,
stole it. And then
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember getting that call at like 4 a.m. and I was like, it was like from someone in that project, like, dude, it was, they played the long game. It's like this big con where like I was very careful about what projects I invested in. Got to know the owners. And like a little side story to that is like my wife and I were going on a trip to Mexico one time and I transferred wallets. If you know anything about crypto,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
there could be like a little bit of a transfer fee, and I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that, so I transferred it off one wallet online into like a secure one on my hard drive, and it took
Mm-hmm.
away 10%, and I had like $100,000 invested in that. So to me, I was like, I just lost 10 grand. I was like, what? And so like I emailed the owner because at that time I was the biggest investor in it, and he was like, "Oh, dude, all good." And he sent me the 10 grand back. So like I was like, this is a good guy, you know? Like I
Yeah, of
wasn't like
course.
tripping
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
And I was on calls with them, and this guy played the long game. I just don't know how he like conned a bunch of other people, and like one day he just disappeared and he drained the
Wow.
wallets.
Wow.
And I pretty much blacked out after that. And like I just didn't want to tell my wife that I lied, you know, and she's pregnant. And I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to like
Mm-hmm.
stress her out. And so
Yeah.
I was also learning how to day trade. So ever since COVID happened, one of the first things I did was like I bought this course because I kept seeing this guy online. I'd never had the opportunity to be at home and like learn
Mm-hmm.
from a course. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, this guy can make money. I feel like I could do this. And so I was like, just like I am with this, I was dead serious. I had charts and I studied and I was up every morning early and I was like watching the markets. I got pretty good at it, but I was
Mm-hmm.
very emotionally wrecked after
Yeah.
that. And
Mm-hmm.
I blacked out, guys. I like literally was like, I put in 20 grand and then I over leveraged because I just wanted to make it back. And
Yeah.
it would just happen so fast.
Yeah.
And just disgusting, dude. And then but it wasn't just that one moment. It was like really 2 months of like trying to get it back, like putting in another 5 grand here, 10. I should have
Mm-hmm.
just like cut my losses and called it. Long story short, it was horrible. I mean, I had to tell my wife that I'd lost everything right before our daughter was born, and so much so that we're in debt now. It was like, and just that
Yeah.
switch is crazy. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
unbelievable, total addict like behavior.
Yeah.
Um, and so we went on a journey after that, man. It's like my wife and I, just the fact that she's still with me is insane. But we had to like go to a lot of counseling. I'd lost my job 3 months later, that job that I was at for 10 years. And
Wow.
so that got ripped from me. Then I had to pick a totally new job that was commission only. I'd lost our health insurance. Our daughter was born. And so we kind of like put it on the back burner because it was so hectic. We just had this
Yeah.
new baby in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it started resurfacing around 6 months in. So around like, you know, end of 2022, like we just really were having issues. We weren't making any money. I wasn't making the same money I before that I was making good money, man, like mid six figures, and I was just
Mm-hmm.
life was good,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I had it all. I had that we were gonna get a house. That was what it was for. And so
Mm-hmm.
now all of a sudden we're like, it just totally got flipped on us. And so
Wow.
it's been a struggle since then of like me trying to figure out like make just enough money for us. And so just as you can imagine, a really, really big journey that I had to go on there. And now to say now, like where we're at, like we're like I truly like my wife and I are like probably the best we've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
We have our moments here and there because it's like it's hard with two kids, but like at the end of the day, like yesterday, I remember I said some things. We both, it's a long day. It was just a hard day, and our nanny was
Mm-hmm.
over, and we just like I felt like she, got overreacted on something. And I was like, look, I'm having a hard day too. And like, I'm not, freaking out. I just had a little moment and it upset her. And then I took my girls out, but I just went and got her flowers and like brought it back. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We both were like, I'm sorry. So we have little moments
Yeah.
like that, but we're so much better than we were. And it's caused me to go down this path. I never would have done this or the podcast or looked at myself or went to an addiction, center and get that fixed. And
Mm-hmm.
I just never, it was like the world saying like, all right, we're going to hit you with this extreme thing that's going to force you to either like get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure there was science prior to that or it was trying to tell
Mm-hmm.
me and I wouldn't listen. And so it had to like punch me
Yeah.
in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm truly a story of like getting my ass handed to me and getting back up. And that's why I'm like, in a way, I look at it as like, well, maybe like that happened so that the next time this happens, that, when the stakes are higher, I have two kids now, like where I don't do that, like if it all
Mm-hmm.
would have worked out and I would have tripled our money and made millions of dollars, my wife's not working, like number one, I wouldn't be on this path for sure.
Yeah.
Because you don't seek God when things are going well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just think I'm a better human being today than I was like 3 years ago. So to answer that again, long ass winded question, 3 years ago really was like maybe over almost 3.5 now, but that was like really when it started. Almost four, I guess, but that's when it started.
Yeah. So that awakening process, was that going like after God in the sense of Jesus, as a Christian, or was that like just going after like consciousness,
No, so
awareness?
yeah, I never went back to Jesus. I was more like, what else is there?
Yeah.
It started with meditation. So the very first thing when you're in that state, man, and you're taking a lot of drugs, you don't realize like how your mind's you're just used to it. So like
Mm-hmm.
I felt normal. I felt like I handled my shit. I like, I didn't feel like I was slacking anyway, but my wife would tell me I was very like not present all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so first things first, you had to fix those things. And so once I fixed those things, and then I started with meditation. And I heard just like everybody else, like meditation. I was like, okay, all right, we'll try it. And so I did a couple minutes a day. I did the Headspace app. Uh, did that just for a little bit. I think it was 2 months in and I got up to like 15 minutes. I felt that first time where I was like, oh, this feels like really peaceful. Like I hit that first like
Mm-hmm.
level and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is what people talk about. And then I think a month later, I had this portal open up in my head when I was like in my, like in bed, I was like relaxing and trying to meditate and this portal opened up and I was like, what the hell was that? And it was
Wow.
crystal clear. And then that kept me going. I was like, I don't know what that was, but that was
Mm-hmm.
intense. At that time, I was listening to NDE videos a lot and I heard about out of body experiences, and then I heard about sleep paralysis. And
Mm-hmm.
that sleep paralysis I'd had twice when I was a kid. It freaked me out. And so the guy Darius said, if you've had sleep paralysis, that means you can leave your body. And so
Mm-hmm.
I started down that rabbit hole. And then 6 months later, I had my first two experiences. And just meanwhile in the background, like my daughters are here, like my girls are getting older. I'm working on myself. My wife and I, our relationship's getting better. Job's still not great. I'm still hopping around, like trying to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was just like all these little things, man. And so I never went back to Jesus, but it was like definitely like, okay, what is there? Is there a God? And if there is, what does this look like? And what are my
Mm-hmm.
options basically? And I
Yeah.
just started leaning into experiences because those like started really like impacting me more than
Mm-hmm.
reading a book did. Um, and then now my thoughts on Jesus are like totally 180. Like I actually feel like he was a absolutely special individual who was real
Mm-hmm.
and he preached spirituality more than anything. At least
Yeah.
I believe he did. I
Mm-hmm.
think he got hijacked by religion.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I just have such a just never went back to that, but I definitely am I pray all the time now. Like uh
Mm-hmm.
I know some people think that's silly, but I still pray often.
Yeah.
Um try to practice gratitude every morning. And here we are, brother.
Yeah. Powerful story, man. It's like I could relate to your story so much because me and Ebru have tried so many different things to like get the funding for one brand to do this, to do that, to try to get the money, Airbnb, e-commerce, drop shipping. I mean, so many different things, doing nails. I mean, we can just go on and on. And then when you said losing six figures, we lost six figures. I think what 20. That's why Ebru's in Europe and I'm here right now because we had taken out a loan to start running ads on one brand, and we were like, we're gonna run it through Facebook. Start there. We had our ad people, we had staff and everything.
This
As
is a
soon as we're running the
reminder.
ads, like they're
It's
just denied by Facebook, no reason.
this is
Just
a reminder.
an automation, a robot basically telling us your ad's been denied, and we have to pay our loan payment every week, like every Monday or Tuesday. It's kind of like more of a high risk loan.
Hmm.
And man, I just remember, and the first hit that we took though, actually of that six figures, it might have been started at 130. Then we end up getting another 30,000, 150. But um, crypto, man, it's like crypto is going like we had a little bit of money, and then we got this six figures that finally transferred it to our crypto wallet. Like we were like trying to get it, like, man, it keeps going up, it keeps going up. We finally get it in there. It goes up. I think we may have threw like 70 something thousand in there, and then it goes up to like 80,000, and then 2 days later it's like we're underwater. And we're like, okay, maybe just keep it in there because it goes back up.
Oh, so
Crypto.
you guys feel me more than anyone. You guys
Oh,
Oh,
understand me.
completely, bro. Completely,
Yeah.
bro. So we could really feel that. It's not a great feeling, but it's definitely a learning lesson. But you can feel that thing, like, because now when we think of crypto, like putting money into crypto, it's not nearly as much as we're. I mean, we
Yeah, I
pretty
would do it
easily,
again. But Hannah asked me, she's like, are we ever going to do it again? I'm like, I mean, I would, but
yeah,
we got to get our shit straight first. But yeah,
y-
but if we do it, it's going to be just like you should have done it. Like we'll put a
yeah,
little bit at a time and just
exactly.
dollar cost averaging, and
There
that's
you
it.
go. 1 to 10%, man.
That's
We
it,
we
man.
we easily threw like 80 to 90% in there, confidently. And man,
Horrible.
yeah. And then our ads just were not. So we were never able to run ads. We had staff. We had to lay off our team. Um, Ebru thought that she was going to be able to go to Denmark and get like the government, because she was paying into a union that covers you if you're not working. She called them over the phone. They said yeah. So then she jumped over there, left here,
Damn.
and then she gets there. They're like, no, you don't qualify. She's like, what do you mean? I've been paying for years and they just told me I qualify. They're like, no, you've been out of the country for 6 months, so you don't qualify. So we're having expenses. She jumps into a factory, starts working at a factory because we needed income. So she's being covered in like dressing and grease every day,
Man.
bottling stuff. So, and this is somebody with a master's that shouldn't be even in that environment, but she's out of it now. But just as you're sharing your story, I'm just able to relate and track to it on so many different levels. So I really appreciate you going that deep in detail and sharing that
yeah.
with you and being transparent and vulnerable with us as well as the audience.
Yeah, kudos to you guys too, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
You just never know. You never know what other people are going through. I think it's super easy. I'm actually going to do a video where I like, because everyone sees this angle of it. But if you
Hmm.
look on this side, I'm in my garage with my like beat up Honda,
Wow.
2010 Honda with like all paint chipping. And I'm going to do like a cool video that like things aren't what they seem and just turn the
Yeah.
camera because
Hmm.
it's important. I think people don't,
It is. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm just a normal guy. You guys are, normal couple.
Hmm.
Like we're all out here just trying to figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect by any means, and we're still trying to just make it work. So
Yeah. Yeah. So well said, man. And our last question for you, man, that we ask is the one message. And the one message is basically, if you have one last message to give, if this was going to be your last message to humanity, Earth, mankind, what would that message be?
gosh, such a good question. Um, I corny, but I think a lot of times the corny things in life, there's truth to them. I'm trying to think like what I would tell my daughters, and I would say like, I don't care what it is, like whatever you're attracted to, what you're feeling in your heart, like run with that. Like run with pick. Don't let anyone else tell you what's cool or what you should do or what like you really like I think we're all here and we have this thing in us that we're attracted to and um it's so important. I think when you take care of what you love take cares of you or takes care of you. And I think that's what I would push to anyone. It's like doesn't matter what you're into. I think someone else is into that. And we all cut ourselves way too short or we second guess ourselves. And it's like I'm proof of that too. It's like when I finally start doing what I really cared. Like I always thought, like no one's gonna give a shit about this. Like you're just a weirdo who asks a lot of questions. Like I really could not see in my own head how anyone would be into that. It just made no sense to me. And so I would want anyone to follow that, because I think if you don't do that, nothing else matters. If you make it big doing something you don't like, I'm telling you, it'll catch up to you. It just doesn't matter. So you might as well from the get-go, sooner than later, follow the heart, tune into the heart. I never understood what people meant when they said that, but it's like, really sit on that. What is your heart trying to tell you? And then lean into it. And I think the first thing people say when they hear this, like, yeah, but you don't understand like my life. I got this going on. I can't do it. But I think you can. I think you probably had an avenue where you could have said yes sooner and it would have been working out now. And because you haven't, you're here. And so what does it mean? It means you have to start slow. Whatever that is you're into, you got to start slow, and you got to do what you got to do. I think that's a misconception too, is like, just quit everything and just go on. I think sometimes it takes a little time. I guess I would try to throw into my daughters too. Like, I do believe thoughts become things. So be very careful about what you think about. So follow the heart, be careful what you think about. I mean, I think it matters. I think it matters more than people think it matters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Powerful, powerful message and very golden, valuable information. Um, the last part of our, podcast we do is called One Meditation. And we basically just go into a meditative state, and basically just seeing how we see the world. As you said, your thoughts become reality, and so, we speak from a new earth perspective. That's one of the things that I've noticed too when I've watched so much stuff is it's like everybody talks about time being an illusion and talking in the now, and that anytime you're talking in the future, you're kind of pushing things forward. So when we go into this meditation, we basically say what it is that we see in this new earth reality. So we talk from a new earth perspective, not like we're waiting on the new earth. No, the new earth is here now. Heaven is on earth now, and it's increasing. So um, when we go into this meditation, you can join in and add something, because we just all kind of add the world that we see,
sure.
or you can just observe. There is no force of anything. It's just something that we do with each guest as well as our audience members, and we truly believe we're transforming the world through these meditations that everyone around the world right now is participating in.
I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. So as we go into that meditative state, we just close our eyes, come into ourself. What we call is our one breath. This is your first time experiencing this. This means it's your breath. So you're inhaling, holding, exhaling at your own pace, at your own rate, that this is your breath. So we go into ourselves, we go into our depth, we go deeper into each breath, holding, exhaling, inhaling, seeing the world that we're creating, seeing the world that we've created. And we see a world where Seggy is very successful with his podcasts, that he's doing what he wants to do with his time. He's having so much free time with his family. He's having a profitable podcast. We see millions of subscribers. We see a world where everyone's being impacted that comes to the paradigm experience. Everyone's impacted that encounters Seggy and his family. We see a world where sickness and disease doesn't exist. We see a world where everybody is running rampant with their purpose, with their identity, with their knowledge that they are God, with the awareness that they are more than their bodies. We see goodness, we see kindness, we see a place where people love each other, where they respect one another, where we see each other as ourselves, where we see unity, we see wholeness, we see an environment where the earth is taken care of, where humanity, creation all understands that we're one. We see a world where disease and sickness doesn't exist, where people are able to participate in healing themselves, where food doesn't have to be questionable, that people may even have the opportunity to choose to be sustained off of solar energy, sunlight, and air, that they don't have to wonder about, is this safe to eat, where the majority of the food isn't questionable. We see a place where everyone is in harmony, including technology.
We see a place where people don't see themselves as divided by race, status, money, or religion. It's all love, that we are all one. It's pure joy, and people living their most authentic lives, loving each other, loving themselves, and being their most authentic self. We see truth. We see high vibration, frequency, no corruption, no manipulations, just all love, all high frequency, forgiveness, healing.
Mm.
I gotta say, guys, that was beautiful. There's nothing I'm gonna say that's gonna add to that. That's very unique, and I love that you guys do this at the end of your podcast. I think that's
Yeah.
incredible.
Thank you so much. And we'll say, and so it is, and
So it is, guys.
yeah.
Man, you guys are special people too. I want you to know that. I think you guys are gonna do great. I wish you guys both the best. I hope your brand absolutely crushes it. I see you guys doing very well. You're both very genuine, and I can feel that. So I
Yeah,
love
we
it.
appreciate you,
I
brother.
love
We
it.
love you, man. And we appreciate you just coming on here and being with us. One of the things that we've been doing too with each guest, it hasn't been like scripted this way, but we just had a great connection with each guest that we've had so far. As we've been just itemizing our inventory. We're working with our manufacturer now, so we've been just gifting each guest, some merchandise. So we've been getting each person their size, so that when our merchandise comes in, we can give you a hoodie or a sweater or something,
That'd be awesome.
just to say thank you, we love you, and appreciate you just for taking the time to talk to our audience and the world at large.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I'm a large, however, I would like to purchase it. So just let me know when it's out. All right.
Okay, yeah, we
Got you guys.
appreciate you, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's it, man. We really appreciate your time. I feel like we could talk to you forever. So when we relocate to Los Angeles, man, we definitely, you got a place to come
Hit
out
me up,
to
dude.
and visit. Yeah, definitely, man. And again, much blessings on everything that you're doing out there on the paradigm, man. And like I said, sky is just the beginning. You're beyond the sky's the limit. So,
Thanks, guys.
yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you
you,
both.
brother.
Thank you so much. Super grateful you guys had me on, and I'm excited to see you guys grow too. So hit me up for anything, honestly,
Yeah,
anytime.
likewise, bro. And I'll send you that stuff on the Anunnaki. And as I go
Please.
through these, what is it? These video editors, if because it's 48, so I'm about to try to
Okay,
break
dog.
that
Yeah,
thing
let me
down.
know, man.
I'm gonna send you down
Send me if you would
the
love that,
creme de la
honestly.
creme. Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
you take care, man.
All right, guys. Reggie, Ebru. Cheers, guys.
Yeah, appreciate
Bye.
you, bro. We love you,
Bye.
man. Peace.
Wow. You know what I
Oh,
was thinking too? Like after I was talking about how we see the earth, I little didn't know
mm-hmm.
what was like if I was muted or not.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm glad you weren't. But we would have told you easily. But great speech and everything. Great blessings. Great meditation. Powerful, powerful,
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah. And it's so, isn't it amazing though that everything we can relate to? Like his life
Yeah.
story
Mm-hmm.
is like,
Very
yeah,
similar.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
similar.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
he talks about a clothing line, you know what I mean? Then he talks about
I
this. And
know.
this podcast episode 2 went so fast
Super
because I
fast.
feel like you can tell he's also that, like
Mm-hmm.
very good
Communicative.
conversation,
Yeah.
communicative, yeah. And then he's
Mm-hmm.
just like making sure that he answers the question and like making it
Yeah.
flow too, you know?
Exactly. And he's unafraid to go deep. You know what I mean? Because he
Exactly.
understands like this is what we're here for.
Yeah, and he has that podcast voice too, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. He's great at what he does. To me, he's already on that Joe Rogan level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he really is.
Whether he sees it or not, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So I'm excited for him, but also I'm thinking like, man, we should get him involved in one brand. Like, the way he knows how to grow brands.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like,
Yeah,
he sounds like he's really pretty good at it too. Like,
yeah.
the way he
Hmm.
talks.
Yeah, I remember we talked about Corey Brandon too. He's got experience with building brands. He loves building brands. So I just feel like bringing people within the collective that are already on this, like you notice, we're all talking about being genuine, authentic. So the fact that you can bring people in there that also have the awareness and knowledge that we are God, it's
Yeah.
very powerful. And you see, he talked about what I talk about all the time is not being driven by money, because
Yeah.
you can have money and then you can be wondering like, hey, this
Why
doesn't make
am
me
I?
happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm making
Yeah.
money, it doesn't make me happy. Like you said, his store was getting in all sorts of businesses and he didn't even care. Like it didn't make him happy. Do you see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like that's what it reminded me of too was our story immediately because
Mm-hmm.
everything that he went through was literally like what we've been through,
Yeah.
like similar.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly.
and I did this and I did that and I
Mm-hmm.
did. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, we love did that. And remember, I used to say like you would literally be like, is that what we want to do? Like imagine
Yeah,
we make all this
exactly.
money. It was not
Mm-hmm.
about are we gonna make money. It was always like imagine we're waking up every day. Do we
Mm-hmm.
want to do this? And we're talking
Exactly.
about like
Mm-hmm.
choice,
Yeah,
at this point.
exactly.
Like,
Oh my
do we,
gosh.
and I'm like,
Retail
because
arbitrage.
I was so focused on like, no, the hustle, the grind, we need to get the money. Like he said, once we get the money, okay, you know what I mean? And then you're
Yeah.
like, oh, but do we wake up and feel motivated to do this? You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And
exactly.
then we shift
Exactly.
to the next thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like and then you talk about crypto and you talk about everything and I'm like you
Yeah.
just never
Yeah.
know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's
Yep.
just like it just like makes you like a person more, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I'm excited for this podcast to come out for everybody to see this. I'm
And I feel
excited
like
for
our story was so powerful too. I'm sorry to cut you off, but our story was so powerful too because he did not expect that too.
yeah.
Like when
Mm-hmm.
he's like sharing, he's like, if you know crypto, if
Yeah.
you know this, if you know that, and I had to
Yeah.
go job, and then I'm like, you don't know. Like
And it's like, tell me it's not the same. Life-changing amount of money to do something great with it and then you lose it.
yeah, and you can tell like his heart has been like I'm gonna just what I mean I'm doubling this I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
do this, do
Mm-hmm.
that for the kids for the like for family and stuff and it's just like boom what I mean
And then to get to 500,000 too. So
yeah
like, what I mean? We can be talking about 150,000 that we experienced, but he's talking about a 500,000. So I'm sure no
yeah
matter what amount it is, it could be if you had $10,000 and you lose
yeah
it, it's gonna
exactly
hurt.
yeah yeah
$100 you lose it, it hurts. But you know, to have that life changing amount of money, that sum of money, and then that sum is now gone, it's just like, come on now,
yeah
but really great. I'm gonna run. I have to go into
yeah
yeah. So
great another great like I keep saying this but another great
yeah,
episode very
come
very
on now.
deep emotional
Powerful.
like so great job
Powerful. Yeah.
very powerful
Yeah. I'll see you on the other side and I'm gonna run and talk to you as soon as I finish with this stuff. Right. Love you. Let's
Real.
talk to you
Love
soon.
you.
TOP,
The One
the one
Podcast.
podcast.